Hello, welcome back. Well, as you can see here, I have myself a Yamaha micro component system, MCR-B020. I actually found this being thrown out and thought, well, let's take a look at it. You know, when people throw out stuff, it's generally because something stopped working or they just don't want it anymore. They want something new. And as somebody in electronics, you know what's inside these things, and they can be a trove of little treasures and parts that you can reuse for projects, right? And there's actually, quite a bit of money worth in these products. Most people don't know, so they just toss them. So anyway, I thought I'd take a quick look at this. The plan was to totally tear this down, keep the parts, because I have no use for this. But I thought it'd be interesting to see what state it is in and to see what works and what doesn't work. All right, so I haven't even plugged this in yet. I don't know if it works or it doesn't work, so let's give that a try and see what happens. From what I can tell, actually, it comes with a remote, this remote here. So if the remotes work, the parts work, you have an infrared remote control that you can use for something, you can reuse those parts of the product. Okay, you can see here on the top we have some controls. You've got power, source, the typical playback functionalities, probably a part of some small audio system, of course. You can see on the back it's already had the back ripped off. They've cut the cables out because they couldn't come out, I think. Really hard to pull out. Oh, give it a bit of a, they didn't even bother taking these out. They just cut the wires, which is fine. Also, the bottom is not there. This is what's left. That's why when I seen this, it's like, oh, we have a nice power supply here. We have some motors, some gearing systems and whatever else there might be there. Motherboard is inside. We'll take a look at that as well. All right, so just for fun, let's see if it works. I'm going to plug this in. The socket's a bit wobbly. Here goes. All right, no smoke. I don't see any lights. Let's see. Push the power button. Nothing happening. Eject button. Nothing happening. Okay. Oh. We do have something happening. There we go. It actually works. It was to show you the front. Oh, I wonder. The display here cuts on and off. Only when you push a button, there is a display here. If I can show you. That's in focus. Wow, conundrum. Do you pull it apart? I say yes. It probably works, Maybe I need to think about that. I need to do a bit more testing, of course. Yes, the source function works. I should put a CD in there and see. USB. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is a socket here. Yep. Look at that. It's even got a USB charging port. All right. Well, it's the first step showing that it works. Yeah, all the volume, everything seems to be fine. Wow. Okay. Maybe I'll think about this, but very much on the tendency to pull it apart. So let's see how we can pull this apart. And take things out. Alright, we've got a power supply. We've got some front covers here. Yes. Let's figure out how this comes apart. Let's take out what we can unplug and see what is inside this. There we go. Perfectly working power supply module. Some screws here, probably holding in this. I would like to see, there we go. We can pull off this front. What's holding it? Wow, and there we go. Okay, we've got more boards in here and some cables attaching them. Okay, generally that means you unplug. See if we can unplug them from here. Make it a bit easy. That seems to be fastened. We have to go from top down. Yeah. Okay. You know, I don't like pulling things apart if they work, but you know, the life of products these days. Okay, we have a cable here that needs to be unplugged. Okay, this is to the reader, which works. Pulling apart things can be interesting. Looking at how things are put together. There we go. You can see we have the carriage with the CD-ROM and the drivers all in one place here. Standard laser reader, motors. This is for the tray. This is probably for the head. Well, all these move together here. This is probably for the motors for spinning. Okay, so let's unplug this. Oh, nicely tied together here. Okay, we can actually try to unplug them from here. Although, let's see. There's a firm piece of wire mounted on the board here to keep these cables from shaking around, I suppose. I want to get an idea of the type of clips they have. Okay, yeah, you just didn't pull it out. Okay. All right, one carriage out. Now, motherboard. Okay, unwind these wires that hold it in place, and then that's it. All right. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's try to remember some of these plugs. Okay, here's the motherboard. This seems to be the wireless module here, I think. Some custom coils, capacitors, inductors. These are all for your line outs. Now, hard to see these parts. We'll take a closer look later maybe. But for now, working board. And you can see how these cables are wrapped around these. Just making sure the plugs are all different. I go and connect it there. Lots of tedious cabling. Usually, let's pull this off. There we go. A nice display here. Quite custom. I don't know. It's got your typical weekday calendar functions, clock functions. Nice little rotary selector here. I think it's like a decoder. And rotary decoder. Inductors. Straightforward. Cool. Maybe that can be reused. I don't know. And then on the front, the buttons. Let's see. There we go. And that's how that's put on. Here's the USB charger. Circuits. Might be able to make myself a USB charger from there. And we've got this molded attachment for the buttons. Let's see what we got. Okay. Look at that. One big piece. Easy to clip on. Got these buttons here. Nice buttons. Alright. Basically that's it. That's inside a CD-ROM audio system. We've got your display functionality, your dials, simple electronics here for, you know, minimizing RF, nice shielding, just a bunch of passive components going to here. All the brains will go back to this, which, if I find the plug, is probably this one here. And if you looked at this, hard to track, but yeah, it seems to run back to this guy. I don't know what parts these are. I need to take a look, but these are probably versions of the chips for this model. This is the reader, the head. Yeah, so I'll break this down further maybe in a separate video, decide what I'm going to do. These sorts of parts here, these are like the RF, I think, and it would be nice if you could just reuse this, right? But the way it's attached to the board, it's soldered, very difficult to take that off without damaging the parts here. Okay, motors are always good. Check these out. You know, these things here can range from, I don't know, $2 to $15 a piece. Okay, you look at this here, this probably costs $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, I'm not sure. This here is probably a few dollars. Yeah, each of these, I don't know, a few cents, maybe tens of cents. This here is probably a few dollars. If you added all this up, it's probably, you know, $30, $40, $50 worth of stuff if you were to buy it, if you were building a project. So yeah, you know, there's value here if you know what to do with it. Oh, sorry, there's also this power supply, yeah. Once I figure out the specs on this, I might use it in another project as a power module. Maybe in building a new power supply, something like that. But yeah, definitely lots of useful things. This in itself is probably, you know, 10 bucks. I don't know. I haven't checked. So cool. I think I'll leave it at this point. I'm not sure if I'm going to go straight into scrapping everything right now, but at least we know what's in here and what we can potentially do with it. If I do take it to the next level, I'll video that as well. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.